Hello, welcome Solex Nation. We have one more week of April left. Next week is the 30th.
This month is flying by already. If last week I talked about, or recently I talked about the need to get into your information, right? And the value of getting into your information. The truth is that this principle applies not just in business, but also applies in your well-being, your health. When you're talking about the scanner and the education in the scanner, getting into that information is useful periodically, regularly. The same thing applies to your business. Getting into your information about how your customers are doing and how your QLAs are doing and how the size of your organization is building and things that you can do and make decisions around is very helpful. If you're in it regularly, you have a better feel for how your performance is, whether that's health or whether that's business, right? And so many other applications. So as we approach this last week of April, it's a great time to jump in and see how things are going. See how your team is doing, see who needs help, see if there's just somebody that you feel inclined to reach out to and just check in on them to make sure they're doing okay. This is a great time to do that.
That's right. And while you're in there, pull those reports, download them, save them so you can have them for reference in the future, especially when you're trying to do something like tracking for a trip or tracking to promote. You want to know who is doing what and who needs help, who you can work with. So just remember to pull those reports and save your reports.
Now I know we're at the end of April. We have a big event coming in September. We're really looking forward to this live day of discovery. Tickets are available. We have a room block that's available,
At the Marriott,
we have a room set that they can actually buy the reservation, right, in the back office.
Yes, you can go into your back office and you can actually purchase your room block for Marriott. The Marriott is right next door to the convention center. It's a great place for you can run back and forth if you need to in the middle of the event. It's that close.
Yep.
Also, we got you great rates, a lot less expensive than if you book with Marriott exclusively. Now, don't call Marriott. They have reported that people have been calling them. Please don't call them. We are taking all the reservations through Solex. And those are available in your back office. You can opt in for a room with 2 queens or a room with a king bed. And as those are gone, we will remove them. So if all the kings are sold out, we'll take them down off out of the back office. So if you see them, they are still available.
Now, coming to an event is so worthwhile. It really is enriching in so many ways. We know that it costs some very well-earned money on your part to be able to attend. But I think most people that attend with the intention to get something out of it that is valuable to them, they do get that. And by coming to this event, it's a couple days, you have a wealth of great presenters that will be presenting. We always have new launches and big surprises. There's an experience center where you can go and try things out and see what it's like, whether different products or different tools that Solex offers or might be offering right in the future. There's product discounts available during that event, at the event. You know what? It's also a great setting. Here in Utah, this is in Provo. This is downtown Provo. This is an old part of Provo.
Cutest little street you've ever seen.
Yeah, and you can see.
Tons of shops and restaurants and coffee shops. It's actually a beautiful setting.
When you walk up and down that street, you can see it almost feels like there's an old Western feel if you look up at the old bricks and the old buildings that were put together. But the venue is very modern. In fact, it's very new. And we're excited to be there this year.
We are, so make sure you join us. You know, friendships are made at these events, so you really don't want to miss out on this one. All right, you guys, this is the last week for Blue. This is the last week that you can bring someone on with a bundle and subscription and they get a free bottle of Blue.
So if you're gonna jump on it, now's the time to jump on it. That has at least up to a $62.50 value, right?
Yep.
To those people coming in. So bundle, subscription, get the Blue for free, use that as the icing on the cake to share with others, with new people, what Solex has to offer.
All right, let's do the top enrollers in the contest.
Hey everyone, we're here to do top enrollers and some giveaways today. And this will be for the week of April 14th through the 20th. Now we had a few in second place and one in first place. Who are our second place winners?
So we had a tie, Paige Wheeler and Kathy Slott.
Great work.
Yeah, seriously, great work.
And then first place is a new one you said, right?
Yes,
I haven't seen this name either. It's Light and Energy Therapeutics in first place. Great job.
Congratulations. We'll be sending you an AO scan sample pass.
Okay, so for this week's contest, The question was, what is something you learned from this call? And the call was with Deb Bruce, right?
Yes,
what was that about?
Yes. The eyes are the window to the soul.
All right.
She had some great information.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull. So let's see. I've heard that there's some great answers here.
I know.
I haven't looked myself. Okay, do you want to pull first? Mix them up
Yeah.
really good for you.
What is something they learned? This is for Naeem Moses 8378. Please call customer support and let us know who you are so we can send you your Solex sunglasses. I learned yet another incredible way to use the AO MindSync as a mantra to create restored vision. The AO MindSync just might be my favorite features on the scanner, not only for myself, but for every one of my clients. It's that brilliant gift that keeps giving. Love you all.
I want to hear more about MindSync and iHealth.
Yes, that's awesome.
All right, here we go. Is that one? All right, Conscious Evolution 369. Again, call
That
in.
sounds
Or unless you
familiar.
know maybe who they might be.
I wouldn't trust my memory. Let us know.
Deb is such a wealth of knowledge, I could listen to her all day. I learned the adrenal eye connection. So interesting because it's me. Wow, cool. So I guess it really connected with her.
Connected,
That's
yes.
cool. Okay, Deb, last one.
I love it, love it, love it. All right. Last one, Solex sunglasses coming to you. Shelley Rassenfoss. I learned so much from Deb Bruce, how so many things affect the eyes, such as the adrenals and dental work. Thank you, Deb and Solex.
Cool. Awesome.
Yes, thank you, Deb. Great information.
3 sunglasses going out.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much, and let's get on with the rest of the call.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm back with some tips and tricks for hormones and optimization for the AO scan. One of the easy things I like to do is just simply going into the vitals report. You can deselect all and just scan and optimize your digestive function. And then you can also just scan and optimize the hormones. Something else that you can do would be to go into your body systems. You can hit deselect all, hit just the hormone button. I also like to do the endocrine and the digestive because again, the digestive system and the hormones go hand in hand. And again, that report is simple. You can just scan and optimize. Once you've done that, you can pick your Cephi playlist. Now we have a lot of hormone, menopause, gut and digestive Cephi playlists, but one of the easy ones to do if you do not want to make a frequency playlist, we have lots of different choices. I personally like the anti-stress support because we all know how the stress system, the vagus, the nervous system, how that correlates with the gut. One of the other frequencies that I like to use is the female endocrine support plus if you're a female. We also have the his and hers endocrine reproductive support Cephi. And then we also have the menopause support. Keep in mind when you're working with menopause and hormones, you also want to address cortisol, which could be stress, and your glucose and blood sugar. We want to keep those two sections, those two items in mind as we are working with the gut and the hormones. When I'm not using the AO scan, something else that works really well is actually the Infinity wand. You can use the terahertz frequencies to wand the abdominal area. That will help the digestive areas. You can also wand around the liver. If you'd like, you can even wand some of the liver meridian points to help stimulate that, as that is all going to help balance your endocrine system, your hormones, and the gut and digestive system. Another area that I like to optimize with the wand is the vagus nerve. You can wand up and down all around the vagus, all around the head, all around the throat and the neck, in the ears. You can even do all of the different cranial nerves with the terahertz wand. That will help stimulate the vagus nerve. It'll help relax the nervous system, which in turn will actually help the digestive system, which will help your hormones. We also have, if you don't want to broadcast Cephis to you, you can use the Cephi dots. You can imprint those frequencies that we just talked about from Cephi into the Cephi dots, and then you can put them in any of the meridian points that you choose. I personally like doing the liver meridian. you can look up the liver meridian points, maybe select 1 or 2 areas to plop those Cepheid dots on with your associated frequencies. So those are just some of the tips and tricks and some of the ideas that I like to use to quickly scan and optimize your hormones, which will help with your digestive system. So I hope this helps.
Hi, I'm Rita Dickinson, and I'm here to talk to you about confidence tonight. And, you know, there's a lot of different definitions for confidence. My favorite is this, and that's feeling assured of your own abilities, value, and worth. Now, AO Scan has several things that can help you with confidence. One, we've got inner voice that balances your emotions, and when you listen to your tones, it helps everything. We also have the AO tuning fork. You can actually hit scan, and the software will pick which tuning fork you need. We also have Cephis. Now, the Cepheid frequencies, there's a lot of things about confidence. We've got confidence, self-esteem, and love, fears, anti-stress support, ultimate emotions, accelerated learning, self-confidence and self-esteem. And under the Bach flower remedies, we've got lack of confidence and feeling blocked. So you can use those tools. One of my favorites is MindSync. MindSync is one of our newest sections of our scanner, and we can actually rewrite the script that's in our head by making our own affirmations in our own voice. It's called binaural, and it uses both sides of your brain and bypasses your subconscious. So you literally can reprogram your brain to the affirmations you want to see and the manifestations you want to see in your life. And that increases confidence as well. But the number one thing is, I want you to be confident to use the app to scan anyone for any situation. Because some of the best testimonies are because someone had the guts or the confidence to scan someone. So you can make a difference. Be confident and use your tools and get stronger every day. So stay confident, everybody.
Hi, I'm Nicole Rodrigues, and I would like to share some tips on how to use Solex tools when we're struggling with fear and anxiety, maybe caused from a loved one not being well, or when you're faced with a challenging situation that you have a really difficult decision to make. So the first thing that I would say is to go inward, to find peace and clarity. And the absolute best tool for this is the inner voice from the AO scanner. We all know how important it is to be emotionally balanced, especially navigating a tumultuous situation. So I always think of the AO, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. Many things come from this, but what I like to see it as is the start to the day and the end to the day should be used with the AO scanner. So the start of a difficult problem until the end of that problem, use your inner voice, use the scanner, the alpha and the omega. And definitely when you're listening to your inner voice music, pair that with your color therapy glasses, and remember that music has a 4D quality that is able to release the soul from imprisonment and allow comfort and peace in situations. So also inner voice can clear negative and trapped emotions and false core beliefs. So this will help to reduce the fear and reduce the anxiety. Next, I use MindSync, and there are great affirmations that we already have set up in there for MindSync for us to use. But my favorite way to use MindSync is to integrate affirmations and learnings from powerful books that I've read and put them into MindSync. So one of my favorite books, and I have it here, it's The Game of Life and How to Play It. And this is by American author Florence Shinn. She wrote this back in 1923, and it's brilliant. So I like to use these affirmations in MindSync. And how I did this is I basically read through the book, And I underlined anything that really resonated with me and felt like I needed to include in MindSync. And then I made a list of all of these and I recorded my own MindSync. And just to give a little bit of a background, we know that MindSync connects the subconscious mind or the soul with the conscious mind, which is the human mind. And when you add affirmations of the superconscious, that's the spirit. So I feel like there's an even greater shift when you connect all three, the soul, the human mind, and the spirit. So I have one example here from the book that I have here, the Florence Shin book. And this is for a difficult situation. So I'm going to read it to you guys. I put this situation in the hands of infinite love and wisdom. If blank, and you can put your situation in there, is the divine plan, I bless it and no longer resist it. But if it is not divinely planned, I give thanks that it is now dissolved and dissipated. So this helps to really take the burden off you and reduce your fear, reduce anxiety. So once you have your inner voice music and the affirmations that you'd like to use, you can save them all to a playlist. I like to put them into Spotify, and I even have different playlists for different situations, different people, and then you can meditate listening to them. Use your AO Infinity mat. Definitely use your rose color glasses. They're great for anxiety. And then you can even broadcast anxiety frequencies using Sept at the same time. So it's all about biohacking, using all these amazing tools that we have and putting them together to help you in a situation. So my rule of thumb is that any decision made out of fear cannot be the right decision. So if you can be still and put your faith into a higher power, whatever or whoever that is for you, God, Source, Buddha, the fear will dissipate and the situation will dissolve, or healing will occur, or a new situation or solution will present it to you and put you on the right path. So I hope that helps some of you, and thank you so much for having me here.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandi Harvey, and I would love to talk to you today about something near and dear to my heart, and it's about one of my favorite ways that I like to work with clients on their healing journey. And one of my favorite things to do is to help people move out of that fight or flight mode and into what we call the rest and digest mode, or sometimes we call it the stay and play mode. I like to explain it like if you are in fight or flight, it's like all of your fighters have gone off to war. There's a perceived battle and your energy is going out to fight that battle. So your fighters aren't home. There's nobody there to repair the bridges and the infrastructure and all the things that need to happen for things to run smoothly. So when we learn how to bring that energy back home, then the body has the resources that it needs to do what it was designed to do. So the body is able to help bring things back into alignment. So often we see energy levels return, inflammation begins to decrease, sleep is restored. There's just more of a sense of peace and calm and groundedness and an overall sense of well-being. I like to call this the shalom zone. And I really believe that is where we were designed to live. So this is where the AO scan really shines, particularly inner voice and MindSync. Those help us to remove those layers of things that we weren't really designed to carry. And so those things, they keep us from living our best life. And once we're able to remove those things, we're able to live from more of a place of authenticity. I know for me personally, it's helped me to remove some blocks that kind of kept me in the background, kind of made me feel like I needed to hide in the shadows and really not step up and be who I was really created to be. So I believe that authenticity has a really high vibe. And that's why it's so important to remove those layers so that we can be all that we were created to be. So Authenticity aligns with truth, and truth has a very high vibration. So, because we say it's truth that sets us free, right? So as we remove those layers of things that we weren't meant to carry, we're able to step into that authenticity, our true selves, our highest selves, and we're able to bring the gifts into the world that we were designed for. There's a quote by Michelangelo, and he was asked one time how he was able to carve such majestic statues. And he said, "I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free." And that is so inspiring to me because I believe that's what we are doing with AO Scan, particularly inner voice and mind sync, as we're removing those things that are not our highest and best, and we're reprogramming those messages in the subconscious mind that are holding us back. We're removing those layers of things we weren't meant to carry so we can be set free to step into that beautiful destiny that we were created for. And the world needs your gifts. The world needs your unique essence. And I believe that AO Scan, MindSync, and all the other many wonderful resources that we have through Solex can help you do that.
Today I want to talk about ThinkDrops. Curcumin is one thing. We know that it's an incredible anti-inflammatory, but nanotech curcumin, the ThinkDrops, are absolutely incredible. They provide what we call NRF2 activation. Now, NRF2 is a gene pathway. This pathway is actually responsible for not only detoxing, but also to your antioxidant enzymes. So your superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione. Why is this important? Well, first and foremost, it will lower oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is the free radical damage that happens to your cells. How do we prevent that from happening to us? Well, the bad news is you can't. Every single one of us has oxidative stress in our bodies, and a lot of it. And so these free radicals are going through our bodies like a rampage, attacking our cells, whether it be the air that we're breathing, the foods that we're eating, what we're drinking. You cannot avoid it. Stress causes oxidative stress. Exercise causes oxidative stress. Lack of exercise causes oxidative stress in the body. So therefore, it is something that you cannot avoid, but you must combat it. And the only thing that combats this free radical damage is antioxidants. So can't we just supplement with antioxidants or eat a bunch of blueberries or drink a glass of red wine? Well, yes, you can. However, with the trillions of free radicals running through the body, it is impossible to supplement or eat enough or drink enough to possibly combat all of this damage in the body. So therefore, opening this NRF2 pathway where our bodies are making their own antioxidant enzymes floods the body with antioxidants, combating those free radicals and that damage in the body, just like Pac-Man would.
We usually make progress by setting objectives and setting goals and working our way toward those goals. And hopefully we're setting objectives that lead to those goals as a result. We definitely are lifted by the systems we put in place, and those systems should be built around the objectives we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
It's interesting, not only could you have health goals and friendship goals and relationship goals, or learning goals, but you also have business goals. And so I think on the contest this week, at the end, after the live chat, comment what is your business goal? And if you're here as a customer, what is your health goal, or what is your goal in being associated with Solex as a whole? And we're gonna give away to 3 people the planner and the tracker.
Yes, the business planner, business tracker that were developed by 2 of our top leaders, Bec McQuility and Jessica Zavallos. If you don't know what to do, if you don't have a system in place and you need a little bit help getting started, that's what this is for. Also, if you don't have a goal, you don't know what your goal is, you've never thought about it, take this time, sit down, think it through. What is your goal? Write it out. Write it for everyone to see, hold you more accountable. We'll draw 3 names next week. Have a great week.
contest and the let me.
Give
Hey,
us an Alpha 6 pass.
AO scan sample.
AO scan sample. Ugh.
I'm Rita Dickinson, and I'm here to talk about, well, can we start over? That's not a blooper, Kai.